Hello and welcome to today's video. Today the polish is The Greater Good by Emily DeMolly. It is a shimmer-based polish that shifts aqua to pink. It also includes some small copper flakes. The official description doesn't mention the dusty rose shift, but I think you can see it pretty well in the bottle. I didn't notice any base color when I removed the polish, so I feel pretty confident in that description. I made a mistake with this manicure. I was supposed to put it on my left hand so that it wouldn't look bad when I was applying it, but I got mixed up, and now you get to watch me struggle to get my line straight on my other hand. I do fine in the end, but I do take a while to get there. So let's all suffer together, shall we? Honestly, it's only the first coat that goes this way. The other ones are much faster, as I gain confidence that I'm not going to F it up completely. Now, I am making this look like it's a hard to work with formula, and it absolutely is not. You're just witnessing nervousness and my other hand at work. Emily DeMolly is offering replacement paddle brushes, and I do intend to buy some for the polishes I have, but I just haven't done it yet. So you're seeing their original brush. My criterion for a bad brush is that the bristles are stiff. There's two reasons for that. One is that when you're trying to go around the curve of your cuticle line, it makes it difficult to do that smoothly. But two, when you're putting on more coats of your polish, it will dig into your previous coats, and there's no amount of float in your brush that can help with a brush like that. This is not one of those bad brushes. The fact that I'm not rushing to go get the replacement paddle brush, I think is telling. The next time I want to make an Emily DeMolly order, I'll just make sure I order the appropriate number of paddle brushes, and I'll just include it in that. Ultimately, I'm a bit lazy and a bit shaky, so anything that can give me a better experience, I will take it. But actually, back to the polish, you do get a good amount of both shimmer and flakes in that first coat. I think because of the shimmer, the copper flakes can take on more of a rose gold hue. The shimmer is very icy, a little bit aqua, and it does move over into that dusty rose pink. That second coat goes on so much quicker because now I'm feeling good about things. I think anyone with short nails would be happy in two. I'm honestly not sure how this would look on longer nails. The shimmer basically looks like my skin, so it makes it very hard for me to tell how much I might be seeing through to my nail beds. But because we're in the paranoia era, I'm just going to 3 coats regardless. This is a re-release of an even older polish. I had wanted the re-release, but took too long and it sold out twice. Then I moped for a while, and luckily it was restocked again, and I finally grabbed it. This happened over the space of several months. I felt very foolish for missing it several times, but I'm very happy to have it now. I believe it was originally released in 2018, but I picked it up, I think sometime a year and a half ago, I want to say. For the third coat, I go in a bit thick, and if you do that, it could look streaky. That is covered up by a top coat, and you really won't see it on my other nails. I checked my thumb as I was writing the script, and I could not see that streak, so the polish is pretty forgiving. For me, with a polish like this, just as the polish on my other hand, having the shimmer base color be opaque was actually pretty important, because it's the only color contributing to the overall look of the polish. I wouldn't want that shimmer to look patchy. This way, when we see the polish out in the sun and in the shade, we can be sure that what we're seeing is the shimmer and not my nail bed. I think it's much more understated than a lot of my polishes. It has muted colors, and the flakes aren't extremely stark against the background. It looks almost neutral on me, somehow. I think this is one of the last times you're going to see the flakes looking distinctly copper. I think outside and farther away from the polish, it just sort of reads as rose gold most of the time. In just a second, we will be out in the sun. The aqua can look almost entirely silver with just a hint of green as I bring my fingers downward. On the upswing, it not only goes into the pale, dusty pink, but occasionally I feel it flashes magenta. That is quick, but you might be able to pause to see it. The flakes do indeed look quite rose gold to me in this lighting. The pink and silvery aqua are still there. It's just they've made some extra room for those other colors. If you can hear the blue jays screaming, I'm sorry, but they are just right outside the window. Because of the name of the polish, this reminds me of the movie Hot Fuzz. If you have not seen Hot Fuzz, you need to fix that. I don't want to spoil the movie by discussing the phrase, but it does appear. And very seriously, you need to watch Hot Fuzz. It is extremely funny. As to where you would find this in nature, I would probably go with the gala bird. It's a cockatoo of a fairly large size. They have a pink head and chest, but more of a grayish blue wing. I think the polish is a little less pink and a little more blue, but as natural entities go, I think this is a good one-to-one polish for that bird. I will say that I think polishes like this and the polish from Bee's Knees that I wore in my previous video are very difficult to skittle. There's just so much happening in them that it's hard to match the tone of everything and the saturation. So I tend not to even try. In the meantime, we've made it out into the shade. I think that silvery sage color is even more apparent, and the blue can look both more muted, but almost a sky blue when my fingers move upward. I should mention that I think my tree in the sky is once again showing in the polish and making it look a little gold and a little red, and that really isn't part of the polish, so please do ignore that. Inside, the colors of the shimmer have desaturated a little. We're only getting that silvery aqua and the pink now. And this is where the video takes a turn. I think this polish looks like a zombie. Not an older zombie that has had time to decompose. This is a fresh one. My husband thinks it looks like someone bitten by a vampire, but either way, I do find this polish looks slightly unsettling, but I love it. The only thing that worries me is that my own skin apparently looks zombified to me because this looks so neutral on my skin tone. I do also think the pink in here looks like the common milkweed or butterfly flowers, and the pallor of that blue could look like one of the less showy varieties of forget-me-not. And that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Please enjoy a clip of my Chippy trying to de-shell a peanut only to change his mind and take the whole thing anyway.